Welcome to Smack This, the unofficial Godsmack podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Humphrey, where I talk all things Godsmack. This is episode 27, the Apocalypse Blues Revue, The Shape of Blues to Come, is what we're going to be talking about. That's a mouthful right there. This week in Godsmack News. It's been kind of quiet. They have posted some stuff on social media last Friday, to be exact, asking us, the fans, what bands would you like to see them tour with. I suggested Seven Dust and Asking Alexandria, Breaking Benjamin, a newer band called New Year's Day, which was one of Godsmack's opening acts on the Legends tour. So that's my suggestions. Now, will they listen? I don't know. Also, on Godsmack News, a couple of days ago, they were reminding fans to pre order the new Godsmack t shirts, which are the Lighting Up the Sky t shirts. Um, Now, I found out that because I said on their social media page that I had mentioned it as a Christmas gift, and then the band responded back as saying that these shirts won't actually come out until the new album comes out, and the new album comes out on February the 24th. So if you're thinking you're going to get the new Godsmack t-shirts before then, you're not going to. You can pre-order them though. That's it. Godsmack news. This is episode 27, the Apocalypse Blues Revue, The Shape of Blues to Come, is what we're going to be talking about. A little bit about this album. It's the second album from the side project band by Tony and Shannon, along with bass player Brian Carpenter and singer Ray Sorbonne. A little bit of timeline on this. The band did a little tour for the first album. They didn't do a whole lot of shows, but they did do some. Uh, and then when they came back together in late 2017, early 2018, in between touring with Godsmack, they went into the studios, to the Vibe recording studios to be exact, in Southwest Florida to record the second album. Now, the first album they produced themselves. This time they chose Dave Fortman, and we know who Dave Fortman is by now. I've seemed like I've talked about him a lot. He's the guitar player for Ugly Kid Joe. He co-produced Godsmack's The Oracle and Godsmack's 1000 Horsepower. They actually chose him to produce this album. On the first album, he mixed it. This time, he's the producer. And something else I thought was kind of cool was the band actually gave themselves nicknames. So this is kind of cool. Shannon the Apocalypse Larkin, Tony Big Tone Rambola, Brian Bass God Carpenter, and Ray Rayford John Sorbonne. Even Dave Fortman got a nickname. They called him King Dave Fortman. Uh, the album was released on July 20th, 2018. How many albums has it sold? I have no earthly idea. I can't find anything as far as that goes. So, that being said, let's go track by track. This song number one is called Open Spaces. It starts off with Shannon tapping on the cymbal, then the slow guitar playing by Tony, and you hear some whispering kind of sound in it, and then it starts to pick up, and Ray starts singing. Then about the middle part, it picks up and then comes back down, so it's kind of like a roller coaster song. Uh, Fantastic guitar playing by Tony. Really cool song. Some interesting vocal effects on this song. It has that little echo stuff in it towards the end. Uh, Song number two is a song called We Are One. Starts off again with Shannon tapping on the cymbal. Tony joins in with this whimpering guitar sound. It sounds really cool. Very different from anything he's played in Godsmack, that's for sure. Then this is then it gets this really heavy sound that comes with Tony playing slide guitar. So again, something a little different from Godsmack. Then it drops down like a nosedive, and Ray starts singing. Kind of spooky sound. Uh, he's almost singing in one words, if you get that kind of sound. It's kind of spooky. Then it comes back up and then goes back down. The song is highlighted for me by the slide guitar playing by Tony. Again, you don't really hear that when he's in Godsmack, so this is really kind of cool to hear. It has this great upbeat part towards the middle, and that part's really cool. Uh, the only thing I have a problem with it is it's super long. It's over 8 minutes long. Yeah, it's a little too long for my taste. But it's a good song. I will say that. Uh, Track number 3 is called "Hell to Pay." Just starts off going really good. It's really good. I really like this one a lot. Great playing, singing. Uh, it has that echo effect in it. The lyrics are really cool. It's so good. Actually, this is a really good song. To me, this song, well, I'll hold that off to the next song. This song actually has a video for it. Um, it's kind of one of those not really thought out videos, if you know what I'm saying. It's basically a bunch of imagery, and the lyrics are kind of floating in the air, kind of thing. But yeah, check it out. It's really good. Track number 4 is called "Have You Heard?" Starts off with a bunch of talking in the background, and then Ray says, "Have you heard the news? The apocalypse is coming, and it ain't your daddy's blues." This is awesome. I love this. That part right there hooked me. Um, then Shannon and Brian start playing. It's really cool groove in it. Then Tony joins in with some outstanding guitar playing. Then it gets into this really great groove in it. Ray starts to sing, and it stops. The band kind of stops. He sings and stops. Um, it kind of reminds me of the song by Bill Haley and the Comets. If you know who they are, they sing the song "Rock Around the Clock." If you are kind of familiar with that little sing stop kind of thing, or Happy Days, if you remember that TV show, the theme song. It's kind of like that at the very beginning. Uh, but back to the song. It's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed this one a lot. It's freaking good. There's some great guitar playing by Tony. Shannon's playing is monstrous on this. To me, this song should have been the kickoff song of the album. I think, yeah, but that's me. I really like this one. If you hadn't heard it, check it out. It's called "Have You Heard?" And yeah, it's really good. Track number 5 is To Hell with You." Starts with tapping on the cymbal again, uh, with a rainmaker or a rain stick. It's kind of got those little beads, kind of goes back and forth kind of sound. It's really kind of cool. Don't really hear that in Godsmack either. Uh, then uh, Ray starts singing. It's almost got this the band sound in it. It's really cool sounding song. This is a really blues sounding song. It's got a fantastic Tony guitar solo in it. Song number 6 is called "Nobody Writes for Free." Starts tapping with the cymbal again. You actually can hear Shannon, if you really listen really close, turn it up really good. You can hear Shannon actually count this song in. Then Tony starts playing, then Ray starts singing. It's a really good upbeat song, catchy, really catchy chorus. When I was listening to this album, this song was on, and my wife was actually singing along, chorus part. So yeah, it's really catchy. Very interesting guitar solo by Tony. Yeah, Nobody Rides for Free. Really good song. Track number 7 is called Sincere. Just kicks right in with this great groove. Sorry, there's my notes. Um, then Ray comes in and great playing and singing. The lyrics are really cool. This one's really interesting. There's a lot going on in this song, and it's really catches your ear when you hear it, or at least mine. There's a lot of cool stuff happening in it. Yeah, like I said, it's really cool to hear. Track number 8 is called Way to Go. Starts off with Symbol, but this is a little bit different. It almost sounds like the Symbol part of the beginning of the song called Back in Black by AC/DC, and then it kind of slows down, and then this choir sound starts, and then Ray starts singing. It's very cool. It sounds a lot like Jim Morrison on this one. Um, Great guitar solo by Tony. Towards the end, the choir kind of comes back, and something another little bit different that Shannon kind of brought out, or I'm guessing it's Shannon. It's called a thunder sheet. So you kind of hear that. It's almost kind of like a gong, but not quite as loud. It's really cool to hear. Then back up, it's another roller coaster song. It's a really good song, but again, kind of like the other song earlier in the album, for me it's a little too long. It's close to 9 minutes, and yeah, it's a good song. I just don't know if I could sit and listen to it all the way through again. But that's my opinion. You may like these songs. Track number 9, and this is closes out the album. It's called Numenial Blues. That's N-U, or I'm sorry, Noumenal Blues. It starts off with bass by Brian and like a screaming guitar sound by Tony. Then singing from Ray. And this one actually has a guest vocalist on it. Uh, they gave her a nickname. Nancy, the Queen of Harmony, Rainier is her name. She's actually a guest vocalist on this. She kind of harmonizes, almost a duet kind of sound. It's really good. I really like this. I wasn't really expecting this, and this was really cool. It's the sounding of it. It's kind of haunting, kind of Halloweenish kind of sound. Um, then it just stops. There's a little break, just total silence, and then the band comes crashing in. Everybody playing, um, kind of like a ta-da kind of thing. I'm not really sure. A finale. There you go. Towards the end of the song, and it's a great way to close the album. I thought that was really good. Um, yeah, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, so let's rate it 1 out of 10, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. I'm actually going to give this album a 8. Um, there's a lot of same way to start the album, the cymbal playing at the beginning, but I get it. I mean, Shannon's kind of bringing the band in or counting the song in, but it was a little too much for my taste. But I'm going to give it an 8, maybe a 9. I'll give it an 8.5. There you go. I'll split the difference. Least favorite song. We Are One. You may have guessed it. It's way too long. It's a good song, but it's not really my favorite. Same way on What Way to Go. Started off interesting, and then it's just way too long. Maybe if they cut a couple of minutes off of it, it would be even better. But again, that's me. Um, Favorite song or songs? Hell to Pay. Have You Heard? Again, I love that one. I actually listened to that one like 3 times. Nobody Rides for Free. Sincere and No Mimial Blues. Easy for me to say. Uh, as my favorite songs on the album. Homework this week. You rate the record, 1 being the worst, 10 being the best. Let me know. Do you actually have this album? What's your favorite song or songs, and what's your least favorite songs or songs on this album? So there's your homework. Um, Next week, I'm actually going to take next week off to celebrate Christmas and New Year's. Christmas is actually coming up pretty soon, in a few days actually. Um, so yeah, I'm actually going to take next week off to celebrate it with my wife and kids and family. Uh, but I will be back on January the 5th and to kick off 2023 with episode 28, and that is going to be called the Apocalypse Blues Revival. So it's the same band, sort of, kind of, almost. We'll talk about that next year, January the 5th to be exact, for episode 28. So yeah, that's it. Um, and 2023 is going to be even more episodes. Uh, yeah, so like I'm going to do an episode of Godsmack videos. There's going to be an episode of B-sides and unreleased tracks. There's going to be an episode of Sully guest appearances on different band songs. Uh, um, I'm going to do an episode of Sully's movie, The Army of the Damned. I'm going to do an episode of Rock the Troops. I'm going to do an episode of where I rank the DVDs. We're going to talk about Sully's pre-Godsmack band, Strip Mind. By that point, the Lighting Up the Sky album will be out, and I'll definitely do an episode on it. And then I'm going to do something a little different later on. So yeah, a lot of stuff to still cover. I really got a lot of ideas floating around in this head. So yeah, that's it. So I'm rambling on. So if you know anybody that's a Godsmack fan, likes to hear about Godsmack, like to talk about Godsmack, send them this way. Send them the link. Tell them to go on Google, Firefox, YouTube, whoever else is out there. Type in Smack This, the Unofficial, and all the episodes will pop up. And that's it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Festivus for the rest of us. That's a Seinfeld reference. Happy New Year. I'll see you guys January the 5th. Again, don't forget to subscribe. I really appreciate everybody who's already done that. So that way you stay in the loop. And that's it. And you just got smacked.